What's up everybody, my name is Sho and welcome to my channel. So what's the fastest way to realize the self? We are always looking for shortcuts, aren't we? That's what the mind does. We're always looking for shortcuts. What's the fastest way, the quickest way, the shortcut, the cheat code to get to this end result place thing? If you've clicked on this video, you're curious, interested in this concept idea of self-realization. Now follow along to my words here. I'm going to explore this space with you. I'm going to explore what it means to accelerate your awakening through to realizing the self. And there isn't one answer. I'm not going to give you something for your brain to grasp, right? And although you might get stuff out which will be saved in your brain for the future, that isn't the purpose of why I record videos. I transmit a place, a remembrance, so that you can see yourself and where you are in your journey. So if I was to say to you the fastest way to realize the self was to feel, you'd probably laugh at me. What a load of codswallop. To feel. And I'll break down why I feel that is true. The fastest way to realize the self is to let go. Let go of the conditioning, the programs, right? The beliefs, the values, the way that we see deeply the reality of the old world, the world that you were born into, the world that's crumbling, the world that was but won't be. So we let go. We learn to release. The fastest way to realizing the deepest seeing expression of self in a lifetime is to feel. So letting go, how's that different to feeling? Why would we feel things if we want to let go, right? It is through the feeling that we realize the feelings go. It's really, really that simple. It's just most of us aren't very aware to be able to stay with a sensation of a feeling so that it moves through the system. And if you were following me for a moment there, you could feel that. Because where I play is the energy world, not just the thinking and the thoughts. It's the energetic world, which I love to play in. So let's say that you have a frustration towards, here's one for me, frustration towards women because my mother used to unconsciously control me because of her own insecurities, or thinking that making, crafting and creating a young boy means I have to follow rules and do what she says. Right? This is something I had to work through for many years to let go of them, the way I respond and interact with women in the world. I always thought they were trying to control me. So this is a patterning that I had, a trauma that I had from very early on, that being controlled by women. Right? That was ingrained. I'm always being, so I have to try and control them. So this is a patterning. So and we all have millions of these patternings in our life, right? From all the programs we've stored, picked up from culture, experiences we've had. And our goal is to, bit by bit, just keep releasing our grip of these beliefs, our grip of these values, our grip of these things. And the grip is something which is found in your energetic state. A grip is it's a gripping inside the mind. It doesn't happen with the body, although the body does express to you sometimes what's happening energetically, because it will manifest through your body at some point. But ultimately what I'm pointing to is the energetic grip of your beliefs and your values and your unprocessed traumas. They've got stuck along the way. And in order to realize the self, get to the point where you are the greatest expression that you can be in this lifetime, we have to transcend, alchemize, let go of all this stuff we picked up along the way, so that that stuff is no longer running the show. That stuff is no longer running the show. The stuff in the unconscious now has become lighter. And so if we allow, alchemize, feel the charged energies and emotions that have got stuck in us, usually in the lower chakras, the lower energy centers, once the stuff has been cleared and cleansed, felt, released, we just keep doing that. Cleanse, feel, release. Oh, something's come, let some feel good. Oh, release. And when you get good at knowing how to feel and release and feel and release and feel and release and feel and release, your capacity to experience life just keeps growing like this. Keeps growing and expanding to the point where your experience of reality completely changes. Life is life, not just concepts in the brain. You get me? Life is life. It's like full and expressive at all moments. In most moments. Sometimes my mind, for example, still creeps in and overthinks, blah, 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 blah. But oftentimes I try to be in my body, because being in the body is where we get to feel. Feeling emotions is essentially learning to feel energy. Once we're feeling energy, we create a capacity. We get to see and know how to release and move through energy fast, which means then we are getting closer to the grace of God, of spirituality, of being energy in reality, as opposed to being just matter in reality. And we experience, play, see, dance from there then, and life flips on its head, and you experience life not from a place of default fear and control, but a default love and safety. So this is awakening. This is the path of realizing the self in the fastest way. A lot of the teachings that I've been through in recent years have come from an organization called the Kriya Lightning Foundation. The Kriya Lightning Foundation, the founder of this non-for-profit based in Hong Kong, the organization, although they travel and offer workshops, channels Maha Avatar Babaji. He literally has conversations with this avatar, this great being, this 12th dimensional being, as his guiding force to the teachings that he's been sharing. And it's like he's just scratching the surface at the edge of creation, offering new ways of healing for the redemption of humanity, for the healing and spiritual awakening of humanity. He's one of the many players of the higher beings that are supporting this process out of these darker, denser times, the previous age. So feeling, learning to get out of the mind, into the body, feeling emotions, and then realizing that they're just energies, and just constantly allowing this current to flush through you. It's the fastest way of realizing the self. There's nothing you have to do. We're not here to do. We're not here to, let me correct that. Let me correct that and correct that. Let me say, it's an openness which allows energy to move. It's not controlling. To see, for example, with the third eye, we don't fixate, we open. So it's an energetic movement. Good focus, open. So this is the movement. We focus, we open, we focus, we open. And many of us in the Western world for sure have become so indoctrinated into the idea of concentrated focus with our mind, with intellect. And that's become our default way of experiencing reality. And I've had to spend many a time just letting go of that and realizing that there can also be an openness to existing. And that openness then allows the current of life to show us ourselves, to be shown the way, to be guided, to listen to the heart deeper, to allow the speedy realization of self. The speedy and accelerated realization of self is when we get out of the mind, into the body, feel what we want to feel, release what we want to release, and then trust the guidance of the heart. That's it in a nutshell, the last 10 seconds. Now, can we do that on a day-to-day basis? Can you empty your life to a place or a point enough so that you can live like that and experience that? And that's the beauty. You don't have to go to India or go to a cave and meditate for 10 years in order to become enlightened, right? That's the beauty of the guidance which has come through Babaji. And what I'm sharing here right now is, like, the current of life is here to help clear the old. If only we learn to keep feeling and releasing, feeling and releasing, feeling and releasing, feeling and releasing. If you just become a master at feeling and releasing and feeling and releasing and feeling and letting go and feeling and letting go, if you just become a master of that, you'll create the most majestic possible life you could ever imagine. Fast. Or in the perfect timing, in the grace of your highest self. Really, truly, true. So feel what's alive in your body right now as you sit here with me. As I stop talking, does it mean you're bored now? Are you going to switch off the video and go somewhere else? Are you that obsessed with latching onto just energy from other people that you can't just be with yourself? It's the being with the self, which is how we realize the self. But we're also attached to the world in so many unhealthy ways. There's nothing wrong with attachment and connection in community, of course, but unhealthy attachments cause suffering. So how are you feeling now? What is alive in your body now? What are you noticing now? What stories are bubbling up to the surface now? If you've watched this video this far, what are you seeing in yourself now? What are you realizing now? What might you intend for next, given a different way of seeing now? Integration and reflection is as important as getting transmissions, information from YouTube. Right? Sitting with what we receive is important. I'll do another video on breathing another time, but breath is how we stay in ourself. Breath is like the doorway into being with ourself. Without the mind interrupting. Okay. Blessings from Bali. Please check out my other videos. Support this channel by subscribing, as it's a new channel. And yeah, much love from the jungle. Ciao, ciao.